Look at Licky. We are on the same screen together.
We are. Yeah, it's a little change for this month. Yes.
In a library with weird lighting, but we're going to make it work.
Yes.
And a different angle
Yes.
with it. But we are at an elementary school that's been repurposed.
Right.
And at a conference.
Yes.
Do you want to share which conference?
Agile Open Northwest is the name of the conference. And it was the initial Agile Open Northwest was here in 2007.
Wow.
And it has happened pretty much every year. I mean, COVID.
But we don't talk about those years.
Yeah, we don't talk about those. And so every year since then, and now we're coming back.
Oh,
and this is
really cool.
Yeah.
Although I already found the detention room because it seems fitting for me.
Yes. Well, there is
like I just gravitated
bar
to it.
too.
Oh
yeah.
no, I gravitated to the detention center like that, and literally. In fact, on my live earlier today, I was already in trouble for being loud. So like, I just gravitated to the detention center.
Yeah. Well, be sure if you go in there to ask about the hidden door.
Is there a hidden door?
There's a mystery door in there. Yeah.
People, that's my afternoon pass now. So I'm Tricia Broderick.
I'm Diana Larsen, and we are at the McMinimans Kennedy School.
Oh yeah, I guess we should say the name.
In Portland, Oregon. Yes.
But we're excited to be coming together. We co-wrote Lead Without Blame, and once a month we come together to share and talk about a different topic. And we try and do it based on theme. And so it's the spring. And I gotta say, being in Portland, I know this is normal. The rain, I'm not the biggest rain, but I'd rather have snow than rain.
Yeah.
I know I say that out loud, but it does make, I mean, it's so green and so beautiful and things like that. So we thought of growth. So it only seemed fitting that this month's kind of topic is about investing in your growth, like, and what that means and tips that we have for that. And given all my announcements recently, it seems very fitting and timely. So that's going to be our topic for today.
Yeah. And I think investing in growth is really important and being intentional about doing that. And I recently thought of that kind of investment is a way of accumulating sort of life and work treasure. You know, it's that aspect of investing that when we have a development goal, when we have a learning goal, whatever, we are building up that treasure that no one can ever take from us. I mean, people talk about, get your education because no one can take that away from you. You can sit on that pile for a long time.
You are in conference gold mine, like tagline delivery today, man. You're like copywriting everything, like right now today. I'm dropping wisdom like there's nobody's business is what you're in that zone. Treasure with it. So let's play off of that for a minute, right?
Yeah.
I will honestly admit, like in the early days, I thought of learning and development as like not looking bad, right? Like if I knew how to do something, I wasn't going to lose my job. I wasn't going to get yelled at by the boss. Like it was slightly survival mode, I would say. And I don't think I thought of it as treasure. I thought of it as what did I have to learn to be successful and to get done? And so if I'm stopping, I kind of try and think of what point in my career did it really kind of churn to being a little bit more treasure. I think if I'm thinking about it and I'm quickly reflecting because we don't script these, right? It would be when I stopped being able to do any kind of like, here's my next 5-year plan of I want to be a lead developer, check, like, right? And to when opportunities started presenting, that I was like, oh, but if I have to do that, like, what do we got to learn, right? And now it became a little bit more in that lane of like bonus and things that couldn't be taken away or things that I accumulate and things that were valuable to me, but it wasn't this intentional part up front.
Yeah.
And so taking away the intention actually made it more of a treasure. And now I'm bringing the intention back in because it gets easy to get busy and not do what you need to do. Right.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be like noodling on that now for the rest of the day. So thank you, not thank you, all at the same time.
Well, we're in a conference and it's an open space conference.
It's exactly what's
supposed to happen. A lot of learning to be found here and a lot of choices.
Yes.
I mean, again, the investment in growth is also understanding what direction you want to grow in. I mean, do you want to, one of the things I've been noticing, do you want to be a daffodil or a magnolia blossom? I mean, that's what's popping up around here right now, right? If you drive around in the streets, and this place is in kind of a residential neighborhood, and so you see those things coming up in people's yards already, which is one of the things I love about Portland, because we get that early spring stuff. But still, there is a knowing what it is you're trying to accomplish long term. One person this morning, Jeremy Lightsmith, did a session about different ways he has of thinking about change. He called it the 3 tools of change, and one of them was the Toyota Kata, and having the dream, the North Star out there. Where do I ultimately want to be? But then also having those target conditions that that those check-in points along the way that you really want to say, oh yeah, I want to hit that button. I want to hit that button. And so, I mean, you can do that with your plans for investing in your own growth. And it can be formal learning, or it can be learning in terms of how do I want to grow as a person.
Yeah.
It may not be a education situation or a skill building situation, but how do I want to grow as a person?
Well, and I think that's a lot of where I've really been leaning into capability building, right? And I've had a lot of direct reports over the years, and people are like, well, how do I get into this job? Or how do I get to this title? And I've never really focused on titles, because a lot of times if you had asked me 6 months before I got a title, I never even considered that title or things like that. But I do think about building skill treasures.
Yeah. There you go.
Capability treasure. And because those you keep with you. And a lot of times there isn't just one skill for one role or one skill for one of those things. And so I think in a lot of cases, the better investment is in thinking what skills are beneficial across a variety of different areas. That gives you more opportunity to take a role that you may not have even been planning of, not even considering of those things, because you've been accumulating not just like this like narrow view, but like past transferable skills that help people grow and develop in different things. And it's one of those areas that I've always kind of argued. That's one of the reasons that I was a big fan of IC Agile from the get-go, with me joining into it, is being skills centered. Because if you're building capability, it's then you can apply it in lots of different areas, both personal, professional, and different areas. And these days with AI, I mean, half the board is AI stuff. It makes me feel a little old and intimidated right now. But like with AI, knowledge is at your fingertips everywhere, right? But that doesn't mean, sure, you can look up, how do I facilitate a retrospective? And it still means you're probably not going to deliver it the same way she would, right? and at the same level, the same capability, and the same confidence level. And so how are we, when we're thinking about investing in yourself, there's a level of like, you have plenty of opportunities to invest in your knowledge, but are you investing in your capability growing? Are you investing in your confidence, in your courage, and your ability to deliver it in situational and contextual spots? And I think that's really where my main investment in growth and trying to help others when they're investing in their growth is really going to be, because somebody was just highlighting, is like, well, what cert should I get? And again, I'm not anti-cert, but there is an element of like, I think a lot of times of my investment in growth, it was because usually somebody else went, you should do that. I'm like, no, that's not for me. And then I'm like, ooh, but could I? And then having, like, even writing the book with you, right? I had somebody telling me for years I should write the book. Nope, I'm not a writer. And then I was like, ooh, Diana, I could write with Diana. Will I ruin her name, or will I do a good job, right? But then I think about all the skills that I have been developing, but then I think about all the support that have been giving me courage and confidence and capability to do it, and do it well, to where this was just a beautiful collaboration. That's when I think about investing growth. It's not just accumulating of a certification. It's not just getting on chat and reading a bunch of AI knowledge. It's really investing in your experience. Which is why I think the treasure metaphor really lands with me.
I can tell.
I'm really liking it. Well, I mean, through the rest of this live,
I've been thinking, I mean, as you were talking, you were triggering all kinds of thoughts in my head. And I was like really trying to stay focused.
I'm like all over the place.
Focused on what you were saying and not in my own world. But it did make me think about all of our colleagues now who used to carry around the Agile Coach or Enterprise Agile Coach title, who now are looking for something else to do in their lives. And I have often used the argument for investing in your learning and in building up that treasure, and said to people, this will look great on your resume. I mean, it's amazing how many people will want to develop a very restricted or narrow set of skills to put on their resume. And they don't think about the value of something that might be off to one side or off to another side that could enable their growth and also, expand their possibilities of the places they could. If you keep looking for somebody who's going to hire you as an Agile coach, your opportunities are going to be much more limited than if you can think more broadly about what you're capable of.
Correct. Because
and
your
what you've
skills
learned
are
over.
so powerful in so many different areas. Like in some ways, I would argue you're more needed now than ever.
Right.
In that thriving kind of situation. It does take prioritizing your identity not based on a title. But based on your capability and skills that you're investing in, right?
And how do you approach things? What are your thinking tools? What are your, those things can apply. There was another tool thing that we were talking about this earlier today, and somebody said, "Oh yeah, but I haven't been in software, so I don't use that." And I said, "This tool is not restricted to software. This could go in any number of directions, right?" And so noticing when things might have a broader application, I mean, that's another way of growing. I already know how to do this. Where else could I do this is another growth path, right?
Well, and I mean, I just announced this past week that I got my certified speaking professional, right? Like I had no idea what the National Speaker Association was. And yet I've taken skills from one area and then starting to embrace new communities, new areas, new opportunities with it that I did not even know was possible or consider it. And I think that's the powerful part about investing in your growth, being intentional about it, but also kind of opening up with it is it does open doors.
And that never stops. That never stops. I mean, I'm an older person in the Agile community, and I'm still working on getting better at German. I just joined a choir that I haven't been in a choir for I don't know how long.
Hoped, like superpower is that I could sing. Like are you one of those people that can get up in karaoke and like sing and then everybody's like immediately claps?
No. I'm a second alto. I don't ever get.
I don't. That's my superpower. I wish I had, where you could just like belt out and everybody's like, like that.
No. But I have to keep finding. I mean, it's part of the reason I'm creating a new program. I have to keep finding new things to learn, new things to do, new ways to stretch the skills I already have, and to take in new ones, because I define part of my self-identification is I am a lifelong learner, and I believe my life will be longer if I can keep learning, right? And so, whether or not that turns out to be true, who knows? But right now,
it's inspiring and motivating to others, right? And I think that's the other part, especially for leaders, when we say, look, your jobs are demanding, you're constantly going, I've been in 2 different cities this week alone. I've got 13 different things, and we're selling our house. Like, it's madness. And if I really laid everything out, I probably shouldn't technically be here, and yet I'm choosing to be here, right? And I'm choosing to ignore my husband's text, and I can see that bubble coming up. It's a thing. I'm like, nope, not the problem right now. And I'm just not going to go there, because I need to to make that investment in it. And part of it is what you're highlighting, but then the other part is what am I role modeling? Right. As a leader, as somebody that is wanting other people to push themselves out of their comfort zones, to challenge themselves, to stretch in different ways. Am I role modeling that, or am I going, hey, I've got it, I've been around, like, this is, I'm lightening my hair so I can start embracing the grays. Like, what? Like, I'm done, right? No, that's not what it is. And so there's also a ripple to that effect as well when you're investing in your growth.
Well, and it, whatever you invest in now will continue to pay off for a very long time into the future. And particularly if you go meta and invest in investing in your growth, right? And making sure that that's part of your agenda all the time, that's going to pay off for the rest of your life, right?
Well, we have to be respectful, more so than usual, of the time, because we've got somebody else that's going to be using this room shortly. We'll go live again. We have not looked at what next months are, so we're not prepared for any of that. We're going to do that asynchronously later. So we'll go live again next month, but we don't know a date yet, right? But where can people find you?
People can find me on my newsletter, which they can find at dianalarsen.com/subscribe. And because I always have a thing, it's like, where am I going to be on that month?
I hear it.
And then, but then I'm going to be next Friday at the Engineering Leadership Summit, which is an online program.
Oh, nice.
And April at the Retrospective Facilitators Gathering, which I'm excited about. And also, I'm starting a new program called Thrive in Turbulent Times for senior leaders. And the tagline is, thriving is greater than surviving. It's about people who are feeling the impact of the incredible pace of change that we're going through. This is unprecedented. I've been living a long time, and I have never seen so much change so rapidly. Yeah. And everybody's feeling it. And so I decided this is the time for me to start talking about my experience with that while I still can.
For senior leaders.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I have, I think, just one seat left in next week's Leading Amazing Teams virtual class. So if you're interested in that, I don't even know if the registration's still up, so contact me directly. But our next one is in May. But I'm not, as my announcement recently said, I've added a new role of Chief Experience Officer at X2A. So my time at Ignite is going to be a little bit more backburner. But again, it's an investment in growth. Like, this is an intentional, I couldn't pass up this opportunity. But I will be doing and announcing quite a few new things with them coming up, and I'm very excited. So stay tuned. A little bit of a teaser there on my part. But in terms of conferences and things, I don't think I have anything else in the near term. I pulled back a little bit on that for a minute. So
well, and if you don't have a copy of our book, Lead Without Blame, be sure to check it out. It's worth checking out.
I felt very Vanna White-ish right there.
Nice.
Although the lighting doesn't work on the thing.
And that's okay. Get a little glare. That's
Until next time. Until next time.
See you.